anyone want to call in, the number is 323-443-7511.
Also, my website is yaffabay.com, YAFFABEY.com. I'm sorry, sis, what did you say?
We actually have a lot of
energy
people.
Egg is up.
Yes,
is your
we
energy
actually
egg
have
up? Did you do that? Hold that thought. Did you put up your energy egg of security? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, that's why you're picking up so much shit. You get back into the Senate City, all kinds of things are going on. Apartment buildings, all kind of different people with different things happening all around you. You didn't secure yourself. That's what I'm saying. People taking stuff out of order. Put the egg of security around you. You cannot spin your chakras and increase the speed at which they're spinning, which expands your energy field and builds up your aura because it puts you at a higher frequency of vibration in the cosmic, which puts you in accord with the omniversal forces. And everything around you and everybody around you is an omniversal force. So you need to secure yourself by getting in an egg. But go ahead. You were saying we got a bunch of people. Bring them on.
You are absolutely right, because even I notice I pick up other people's accents too. If I'm around them, I end up talking like the person I'm next to. And I remember you was telling me how Sarah is. She picks up other people's energy, and I haven't really noticed because I guess you're right. I have my shield up all the time, and you know, I was so relaxed, you know, for the last 3 days, and to come back to the city, and I'm picking up people's accents and, you know, all these types of feelings. So whatever you're saying is so much correct. You know, people don't realize when you're around people, even if you around people that actually speaks a different language, you pick up their accent. And I was in a cab coming home, and someone called me on the cell phone, and, you know, they go, "This is not you, you know. You have an accent now." I was sitting next to somebody that had an accent, but I don't know, for some reason, their energy, whatever was going on with them, got to me, and I'm speaking in almost a different dialect and a different language. You know, so we actually are receptors.
Different people are going to turn on and activate different powers. All people, the power belongs to everyone. But too many people are so busy worrying about the next somebody, they can't do their own dang thing because they own some other shit. All people have the capacity to tap into all powers. But some people have spent no time whatsoever doing their work. With melanin-rich people, you don't have to do a lot of work. You don't have to spend a lot of time to tune into this stuff. Your dark complexion has done half of it for you. However, when you are tuning up like what you're doing, even though everybody has the capacity to turn on every power, like Brother Eaton said, I want it all. I want to be able to do everything. And he's very quickly moving right into that format of being able to do everything. But you sound like someone that, to me, what you're turning is what they call being an empath. So you're going to have to shield that so that it only opens up to people that are on the same frequency or people that you let in, because you're picking up everybody else's mess. And if you're picking up other people's accents, you're starting to tune in the power of being an empath, feeling other people's thoughts, feeling other people's feelings. I don't think you're hearing other people's thoughts. There are people that are hearing other people's thoughts. I'm hearing from them. Then there are people out there that I'm not hearing from at all. I don't know if they're not calling because they're like, well, I'm white, she's not going to want to talk to me. I'll talk to anybody that wants to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know, whatever I've had people said, you know, you talked about being a catamite. I was one. You know, I got an email. Now, some people don't want to talk to you, but they'll send it in an email. You know, I had one cat that was like, you know, I have less melanin, which means I'm white. Does that mean I'm some kind of way inferior? And I'm like, that's what's wrong. Nobody's inferior to anybody. And that's where the so-called white people keep screwing up. They're on some, we're superior to the world, and niggas are inferior to everybody. Nope. Nobody's inferior or superior. It's all about you and besting yourself. But you need to get your egg of security around yourself because you are tuning in and amplifying your empath power. If you don't, you're going to go crazy. Because you're going to be picking up other people's shit, and you're going to be out there crying, not knowing why you're crying, not knowing why you're depressed, like you don't know why you're angry. That's probably somebody else's shit.
Yeah,
Excuse my language.
you know, that is true. I actually went through that. I think I'm always in the city. I never let my guard down. I never had that problem before. I always, you know, like swift with everything. I block everything out because that's how I had to do. That's one thing I had to do my whole entire life from not, you know, going insane from all the chaos that's around me. You know, I always had that share. But when I went to a place where it's so peaceful, everything went down, you know, then you come back to the same chaos and you have to get that, you know, that shield back up.
Well, see, when you were in this very serene, tranquil, calm environment, you should have threw your egg of security up before you left there, so that when you got back in the city, nothing fazed you. You don't feel it because it's outside of your realm of influence. That's why I say the egg of security goes all the way up to the planets and all the way down to the core of the earth. And I said pick 3 planets. You can pick what 3 you want. I use the moon, the sun, the moon, and Jupiter. They're high frequency planets. That's why I choose them. Jupiter is more and more, bigger, better, greater. You know, abundance, affluence. You know, that's why I picked secure those. But Brother Eaton, I think one of the ones he chooses is Saturn. So if you are somebody that needs different colors in your egg of security, so be it. If you need different planets, so be it. But if your egg of security reaches all the way out to the planets on the above you end and all the way down to the core of the earth below you, then who gets in there? Where? Nothing gets in there. And as you expand it, it starts to reach further and further outside of you in the circumference around you as an egg. So you're all the way up, all the way down, and you start pushing it all the way out. But you haven't even put it up.
Yeah, I just wasn't ready.
I need to go back and catch up.
I wasn't
That's what I'm saying. Y'all need to do what I say. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're talking about when you were coming up, how you were protecting yourself and securing yourself, that was different. This is different. I have helped you to activate and trigger stuff that is amplifying your power. It is tuning up your frequency and your vibration. You have got to cloak and shield that. Not to mention there are people out there that are looking for people that got that kind of power, like the stupid Roman Catholic Church and their Jesuit militia. Oh, another Simeon Toko, another Simon Kabangu. We need to kill them. We need to lock them up. You need to secure yourself. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not taking spiritual responsibility for people that haven't done what I've asked them to do. You can't just do the salt bath and that's all, or do the salt bath and the sounds and that's all, or do the sounds and that's all, or do the egg of protect. You put the egg up around filth, you've just cloaked yourself in a bunch of muck and mess. And can't figure out why you got, not you, but you can't figure out why you got stinking thinking because you put an egg of protection around a stinking aura that you didn't clean out with the salt bath and then didn't build up with the mantras. And once you build it, now you got to shield it. I thought we had some callers. Or questions.
Yeah, okay.
I can keep talking to you until the show is over. But I don't want people going, well, man, when's she going to let me talk? When's somebody going to have? And please, don't come at me with something that's off topic. If I didn't talk about it tonight, or it's not something spiritual, don't you call me about it if it's off topic.
Caller 647, you're on the air. They hung up.
They must have been off topic. Call my number, 213-928-6155, or send me an email so I can call you. But put down there what state you're in so I know where I'm calling or what country you're in. You know, if you're in the United States or if you're in Canada, I need to know that. I mean, if you're out of the country and you're not Canada, don't worry, it's not going to be a long-distance call for me. It just won't go through. But, you know. I mean, if nobody else has a question, I can just keep talking to you.
You can keep
That's why I know people are not listening. You know, if people have no questions, they're not taking this stuff seriously, and that's why I'm not even trying to. I'm getting to a point where I don't even want to bother. I got other things to do. You know, things are coming down the pike, and I'm trying to get enough people online so we can create what you call a critical mass, or what they call the 100th monkey theory. And I don't think it would take 100 monkeys if you're talking about niggas, which we're not monkeys. We are not Neanderthal at all. Even though some of us may have got it. Some of us have Chinese in us, but not enough Chinese to say we're Chinese. Some of us have African in us, an Egyptian, but not enough to say we're African. Some of us have Mexican in us, but not enough to say we're Mexican. Some of us have Scot or Irish or German in us, or, you know, Chinese, but not enough to say I'm German, I'm Irish, I'm Scottish, I'm Polish, I'm Chinese. I'm saying that to say, even if you have some Neanderthal in your stuff, that don't make you Neanderthal because you got it in, like the Empress says, we all got that taint in the genes now.
And
But some of the people
I
just not taking this serious. They're tripping, huh?
We have a caller,
Some of us have Chinese in us, but not enough
704.
Chinese to say we're Chinese. Some of us have African in us, an Egyptian, but not enough to say we're African. Some of us have Mexican in us, but not enough to say we're Mexican. Some of us have Scott.
Can you turn down the volume
or
on your
German,
computer or whatever that is, so we don't hear that resonating, so you can ask your question? Thank you.
Okay. Am I on?
Yes, you are. Hi.
Hi. I never called him before. I was on YouTube and I came across your video because I was looking at other videos and I came across it, and I watched all the videos that you did, Piercing the Fog and all the other ones.
It's just two of them out there. I've done a bunch of, but only two of them are on YouTube.
And
go ahead.
You know, I was listening, and I've always been a spiritual person. I'm black, of course. I'm melanated. And, you know, when I was younger, I could see people in I don't know if it was visions or whatever, but I'd see people coming toward me when I was a child. And I was just always interested in spiritual things, and I got kind of away from it, and, like, you know, went toward the church because the family, you know, they're all, you know, all Christians or whatever. But
that's the shutdown. That's the door of shutdown. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could feel that because when I was into the spirituality, and, you know, like I took yoga in high school and I did the breathing and, you know, all that, I noticed that things were much better for me. Praying gets me nowhere.
Yeah, it's not. Pray means beg. Look it up. It means beg. Begging gets you nowhere.
It gets you nowhere. And, you know, I feel the meditation and all that, that's a true religion, you know. And I'm trying to get more into this to help because I feel there's something we need to do something because this world is in a mess.
Yeah, and the people of Americans in America are the ones that can fix it because we're the only, so far, they haven't beat down the door with the nonsense yet, even though they're at the gate with the nonsense in Mexico, coming through the door. You know, a lot of people come from all over the world, coming from all over the world to Mexico, coming through the Mexican doorway, across this border, into here, on some whole other stuff.
And I'm right in.
And the only people that can fix it are people that are Americans, huh?
Yeah, I live in a Mexican neighborhood. That's all that's around me.
Some of these people that are running across the border are not Mexicans. They just look like them. To me, these people they're calling Egyptians, some of these people they're calling Mexicans, some of these people they're calling Arabs, some of these people they're calling what do you call these Jews overseas? And a lot of people some of these people they call Native American Indians. If you cut their hair, all these people are starting to look the same to me. I'm starting to have a very difficult time delineating them one from the other until they open their mouth and you catch their language or their accent or their dialect or whatever. Otherwise, they're all starting to look alike to me. So go ahead.
Well,
did you have a question?
Yes, I have salt, you know, in the house. You said that we could use sea salt. We could use, you know, whatever kind of salt we had. And I went out and bought crystals because my mom, she's interested in doing this, but she's got the high blood pressure, and she was worried about the salt. I told her I don't think that the salt would be that much of a problem because you don't really put that much into the water.
Probably wouldn't be that much of a problem. Most people, you are mostly salt. Your bloodstream is predominantly, you know, water and salt and other things. When you perspire water and salt. So I don't think it would be a problem. However, if she has a concern about it, then she needs to move in her concern. Because, one, you shouldn't have to put in more than a quarter cup. People who got a real mess going on can use a whole cup. But, you know, the salt bath can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. You don't have to sit in there for a whole hour. You know, yes, your skin absorbs a certain amount of it, but it's really a spiritual bath. It's not a physical body cleanse. It's an energy cleanse. But if she's concerned, use the crystals, put them in some kind of net bags or the little jewelry bags that they have with the little ties, and toss them in there so they don't get lost down the drain. Because you'll create a major plumbing problem if they do.
I just recently bought some. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter like where you get them, or because these came from.